Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I will make some all iron battery. So like I said, in this video I will make some all iron battery, but before I will make one I need to point out that I'm a little bit, rusty to make this type of battery, because I'm mainly focused into development of some zinc-based batteries, and for this reason was some really long time when I last make some iron-based battery. But actually I get the inspiration of making this all-iron battery because of the band which runs the YouTube channel called Nighthawk in Light. And if you see his last video, he makes some really nice job by making some all-iron battery, which the positive and the negative side of the cell was separated by Rowe's ion exchange membrane, and then both the positive and the negative side of that cell was filled with the same electrolyte, which was the iron sulfate. And because of this I get this inspiration to make my own version of this all iron battery. So first of all I will start with the cell, and for making this all iron battery of course I will use some 3D printed parts. So if I start with, here I have some end plates. These end plates are printed with some PLA plastic, and these two plates will push the entire cell really tight together. Then of course here I have some silicone gaskets, because I don't want that I will get any leakage. Then here I have some titanium current collectors. Over here I have these reactor plates, which are printed with some resin printer, because the resin, especially some ceramic resin, is really resistant to most of the chemicals. So actually in this video I will make some static version of this all iron battery, but here I have the reactor plates which are meant for the flow battery. So over here I actually connect some pipes, and then I get this electrolyte circulation. But like I said, in this video the first try of making this all iron battery will be in this static version. And then of course the electrodes, I need some electrodes which are highly conductive and also have really large surface area as possible. And for this reason here I have two pieces of these graphite pads. So these two graphite pads will go into these reactor plates like so. And then of course here in this battery I need to have the positive and the negative side separated. For this reason I will use some ion exchange membrane, and over here I also have the current collectors which are made from graphite foils. And now I can put together the cell. So I will start with the first end plate. Into this end plate I will put 4 screws which will hold everything in place. Like so. Then I will place this titanium foil for the contact. Then I will use the first graphite foil, which is the current collector. Some gasket that I don't get any leakages. And now I will place also the first reactor plate. So this kind of reactor plates I also use for other projects. where I put together some membrane-free float cells, but because of this shape, I will also use in this all-iron battery project. And actually the thickness of this reactor plate is around 2 millimeters, but the thickness of this graphite felt is a little bit less than 3 millimeters, so 2.7 millimeter. And this is because this graphite felt can be compressed really good together, like you can see over here. And this is really important because I want to create some really good contact between this graphite felt and this graphite current collector. Into this reactor plate I will place this graphite felt, and the half of the cell is actually ready. Now, because I want to separate the positive and the negative side of the cell, for this reason I will use this vanadium ion exchange membrane. So again, I have no time to make some DIY ion exchange membranes. For this reason I will use this commercially available ion exchange membrane. And now I will continue with the second reactor plate. And the cell is actually finished. Now what I need to do is to screw down the screws, and actually that's it. Okay, at this moment I have only one cell, but in case that you want to make a battery with multiple cells, then in this case you put down this end plate and also this contact form, and through here I have one cell. So in case that you want to stack multiple cells together, then you only repeat what I did over here. And actually this graphite, which I have over here, right now serves me like current collector, but in case that you want to put together multiple cells, then in this case this graphite can serve you like a bipolar plate for the next cell. And just for example, if I want to put together another cell, then I will just continue with the setup which I did over here. So the graphite is the bipolar plate for the next cell. Then on this graphite I will put some gasket, then the reactor plate for the second cell, some membrane, another reactor plate for the second cell, gasket, and on the top I will also put another graphite, which again will serve me like a bipolar plate for the next cell. But right now, at this moment, I will only use one cell. Okay, the cell is ready, and now I can move to another important thing, which is the electrolyte. And now about the electrolyte for all-iron battery. So in this case you have many options to prepare the electrolyte, because you can choose between different main salts, supporting salts. You also can use a bunch of additives for suppressing the hydrogen, for complexing the iron, and so on. But in my case, I will go with some basic electrolyte recipe. So in my case, for preparing the electrolyte, I will use the iron sulfate for the main salt. Here I use this heptahydrate iron sulfate, which is really safe and also widely available. But instead of iron sulfate, you can also use some iron chloride, which is a little bit more conductive like iron sulfate and is also mostly used by some commercial iron-based batteries. But in case that you want to go with iron chloride, then in this case you need to have a little bit more controlled way of charging your cell. Because if you overcharge the cell, then some chlorine gas can be released. So in this case it's better to use some iron sulfate. Then I will also use some supporting salt, which will increase the ionic conductivity of the electrolyte. And the supporting salt will be, in my case, some ammonium sulfate. Then I will also use some ascorbic acid, which will help with the stable pH and will suppress the hydrogen. And for the last one, I will also use some citric acid, which will stop the iron from turning into the rust and keeps it dissolved in solution. But instead of using some citric acid, you can also use some glycine, which is actually some amino acid, and will make more stable complex with the iron and will expand the stable pH window. So, in case that you have some glycine, then I recommend to try it. But in my case, I don't have any glycine. For this reason, I will stick with citric acid. So, first what I need is 20.9 grams of iron sulfate. Okay. Now I will add a little bit of water because I want to dissolve this iron sulfate. I will add water to 40 milliliters mark. Now I will also need 0.5 grams of ascorbic acid. Okay, this will be good. Then I will need 1 gram of citric acid. And for the last I will also need 3.3 grams of ammonium sulfate. And now I will fill the cell with the electrolyte. And now I will connect the cell to my power supply. The cell I charge with 1.55 volts, and like we see over here with 500 milliamps. And now after 1 hour of charging, I will see what I get. So first I will check the voltage. And I get 1.28 volts. Now I will also check the current, so I go to 10 amps. And I get 1.7 amps. I mean 1.7 amps was the starting current of this little cell. So guys, that's it about my little experimentation with this all iron battery. So like I said before, here right now I have some static version of this all iron battery, but in case that you want to have some flow battery, then you just add some electrolyte tanks for the positive and the negative side of the cell, and to each side you also connect some pump. Then you connect the tank to the pump and pump to the cell, and from the cell to the electrolyte tank again. The same way you also connect the other side of the cell. But for now, that's it. Like I said, this was my little experimentation with this all iron battery. So guys, that's it for now, and we see us in the next video. Bye.